Oh no, this is exceed enough. Yeah. Right, okay, good. So I was thinking this morning, something I come across that was quite interesting was laser pens. Now they were banned in the UK because of airplanes and stuff. You say you can point at airplanes and whatever, or maybe you point them at drivers and things. But I don't think really people did that. I think maybe to ban an age range. But there's also they're banned for other reasons as well. That you might try to use it to contact alien life or whatever. You could aim it at UFOs, or maybe if you sort of aimed it towards. But then again, people are using them now. If you aimed it towards a sort of star system or whatever, you might like a beacon, sending that little laser signal. Especially if they're multiple different colours. I mean, that's possibly a way to communicate with something out there. Is that you'd use different colours, and you'd have created a new kind of communication system. And whether that can even be picked up remotely, I don't know. But it's a stream, so if there's a way to pick up the stream, if you've got some type of scanner that's picking up certain frequencies, then maybe it's trying to figure out a frequency an alien life form is aware of, but it's not so well known in the universe. I mean, we've got things going out in space, little radio waves. But then again, I think they know that we're here. It's just there's some reason they can't come here. Could be viruses, could be to do with dimensions. Maybe in order to shift through the dimensions, it could be that this place is completely different to any other place in the universe. I mean, that's why we say, there's only so few places you can have life. It's because there's only places that our type of life could exist. Out there, energy life forms and things probably do. And why would they not engage with us? Well, I guess they observe us. It could be that it's more bigger part of the experiment, that they're adhering to some sort of law. It could be that we're actually one of many types of life forms out there. There may be many types of Earth-like planets that they're just monitoring. And there's been interference before, as was indicated in the past. It's created issues whereby the species has developed lots of skills, but de-evolved from another perspective, in that it now believes that there's an almighty, powerful being that is controlling them, and this creates all sorts of things. So some sort of god worship of different types of sort of deities, whether that's in their intention or not. It may be just what humans are. We're subservient to greater powers. That's what it is. You don't have to necessarily like that force, but if you fear it, you tend to abide by it. I mean, there's two things that drive people forward: fear and love. That's why they say you've got to be God-fearing. And I've never feared God because I've always worked from a position of love. So you're best in my mind to love God. Someone who's maybe got dark intentions or whatever's going on there. Maybe they fear God, so that's why they don't act upon these. So these sort of things vary. I'm going to be doing some work on a book at some point. We may talk about how magic, language, evolution there, and all sorts of things. It's also talk about theogenesis, the idea, concept of where sort of God evolved, which you might be like, that's interesting. I didn't want to give too much ideas, but that is definitely really interesting. If we look at life, we look at ourselves, but then how does the Trinity fit into the God, and then also other aspect beings that come from God that have acted as representatives or ambassadors for a higher force, but have been idolised in the process, like or by their choosing, you know. It could be the reality is that we couldn't handle what a higher being is. We might be looking at it at the moment. It could be the very nature around us. And it appears to be sort of chaotic at some level. And it would have developed from something that's more these patterns, something that's AI potentially, and it's kind of, you know, it's kind of cyber intelligence in essence. It developed from a human standpoint. Well, we all improve on our models, but from our human standpoint, we, for most of us, started off with an emotional set from the beginning. But if you're a being that didn't have emotions and then had to develop them, you'd have a different perspective of that. And another strange concept I thought about feelings and stuff. That's to say maybe God feels exactly the same way we do. Maybe the reason the universe was created because he was feeling depressed. If you're an all-powerful being and there's nothing out there for you. I mean, it's just the concept of the void. So when you don't eat and stuff, your body starts to get depressed, like, you know, it's retracting in its strength or something. And I'm just thinking, why is that kind of a, you know, because that's hardwired into people. There's not many people that don't eat, or if they suffer, don't feel some sort of darkness there, and it makes them feel bad about themselves or something. I think that's there. So maybe with the same perspective, you know, if we think of like the God for this universe, that it was created, but maybe was capable of just having feelings, but it had no form. So it's kind of, even though it can be everywhere, it's trapped at some level. It's like a spiritual disability. It's not able to express itself, and then maybe it did. Maybe the other choice was that it had to give up some of itself in order to attain this new form, and in the end it unified back into one at some level. Maybe it is now. It had to define its own body to become itself. But yeah, it'd be interesting to study some of these alien gods, what they represented, why they come into being, and then there's also other things as well I picked up on, that, you know, in the writing of certain names, there's Hanut or something like that, and Hanut is darkness, so you've got a dark angel there. And there's something else as well. I was looking at the Arabic stuff. So Alamin is what we are, humans. So we're Allah's men, basically, which does sort of lean towards an alien god theory of an exogenesis of human race by an external being. But then again, it could be an association with Allah as well. So some basic of light, just as Jesus could be a title as well. You know, it's more likely to be Druid because they got some celestial crosses to do with star systems, and it was to do with our own soul, our star, and Sirius B for the Druid. But I've also thought maybe there's Allah Jinn, which will be some high level jinn entities. Anyway, this is Pixie sign off this video. Have a great one.